What's up, guys? It's the weekend of Christmas Eve in 2023. This at the time is recorded on 12:51 a.m. Um, not a whole lot that I seen out and about that I noticed anything going on within Twitter or fucking Facebook or anything like that. But there's a couple notables that I'll mention. First and foremost, the former CEO of Activision, Bobby Kotick, fuck you. He's finally leaving. There's a rumor that he's going to be he's leaving Activision, go be the CEO of Bungie. I'm hoping that rumor's false because I'll tell you right now, I don't want that son of a bitch there. I've said it many, many times. I have my own way of thinking and everything else, but I will never disparage or call anybody of any type of group any type of fucking name. I don't care if you are a part of the LGBTQA plus community or what your core beliefs are. I will never try to. I will do my damnedest. Never try to infringe on them or anything. So with him leaving, I'm glad. Bye. Dove back into farming sim, and before we dive back in this, motherfuckers like that have no business in gaming, like the gaming world, let alone the CEO of a major studio like Activision. They have no business whatsoever. um, that right there was, amazing, amazing to hear. A lot of people are getting it confused with. A lot of people are getting it confused with what Vivek Ramaswamy is asking people is asking the Republican Party to do, and they're getting it confused with saying, "Oh, he pulled out of the party." No, he didn't. He did not. He is still one of the candidates for the Republican nominee. What I find hysterical is a court system in one of the states is dictating who can and who cannot be on the ballot. Whether or not you like what Trump has done or not, put yourself in this situation. What's to stop the other 49 states and other outlying territories from keeping your candidate off the ballot? Not a damn thing. And you could say, "Oh well, he incited an insurrection, everything else." Like, pretty sure he didn't. And the footage for January 6th has finally been released and everything else, and paints a completely different picture. I'll let you fucking look at that one yourself. It's just hysterical. Hysterical to see, and I don't mean ha ha funny. I mean hypocritical in the manner of how they're doing this shit. Because literally, ask yourself this question: what's to stop them from doing this to other people? What's to stop them from like, oh hey, we don't like how little you improved in our state. We're gonna keep you from being the Democratic nominee, or the Republican, or you're an independent. You have no business being here. Oh, you're a socialist. Goodbye. Quite frankly, if you're a fucking socialist and trying to run for this nation, which was a republic, democracy, a republic, then I argue that our Constitution has no merit anymore. Because at the end of the day, it's we the people, not you the government. You the government are supposed to govern how we the people elected you to govern. Somewhere along the lines, you know, DC got it fucking twisted. You know, it's just one of them things. And we kind of spoke on, like, myself and a core group of friends earlier today. We kind of spoke on, they said, oh well, freaking conservatives lord, Trump and everybody else. I'm like, dude, no, don't fucking try to lump me in with that. I vote who I vote for because I like what they stand for. Yes, I voted for him in 2016 because ain't no goddamn way in hell I was voting for Hillary Clinton. um, but no, he was like, he's quoting Mein Kampf, and I'm like, well, yeah, he's quoting Mein Kampf, which is a banned book which was written by goddamn Hitler. But we have a current president who is enacting Mein Kampf. Don't believe me? Go back to his rant and rave. Like him speaking, calmly, and then just right off the fucking handle, like the Fuhrer just stepped in, like, holy shit. What the fuck? Anybody who has that type of mindset, who is demented, should not even be in office. Honestly, I argue, anybody who's been in politics for 20 plus years needs to fade out of politics and never get paid ever again. Because it's hysterical how they're on a $174,000 annual dollar salary, $174,000 annual salary. That's a really damn good living wage for them working half a fucking year. Explain to me, every single one of them who starts in politics, what their net worth is in the first, we'll go 2 years. How they can be a millionaire? Riddle me that. Oh, and I already know it's due to the insider trading. I'm well aware of that. I'm already well aware that it's due to the corporate greed. I know that. I'm also already well aware that it's due to the fact that there's so much fucking corruption from other organizations, and a company like BlackRock. Holy shit! I just mentioned the fucking name. They basically own every fallacy of every corporation here in America, and they can shape whoever the fuck they want to run this country. Find it funny. Like, at the end of the day, only thing I'm gonna say is don't be surprised when it doesn't turn out the way you want it to. You see people who are like, oh yeah, I promise this, I promise this, I promise this, I promise this. No, you won't. You're not gonna deliver. I can guarantee you won't deliver. None of them will. None of them have. Not even before my time. Talking with my parents, and I asked them, hey, how many presidents do growing up, actually delivered on their promises? Not very many. And now, I'll even argue, since before Reagan's time, less than a handful. There's people in certain positions will play the little puppeteer stuff. It's it's stupid. That's my little rant for the fucking political side. Diving back over into the gaming, I mentioned Farming Sim. So loaded Farming Sim back up because a couple friends were like, "Hey, you got Farming Sim?" I'm like, "Yeah." Want to play? I was like, "Sure." And then I mentioned, I could re-enable the dedicated server, which I'm wanting to actually re-enable because it'll mean that things will, like, depending on the amount of people that join in, I'm only gonna I'll launch the dedicated server if there are going to be people that are gonna play. Because if not, it sucks when I'm the only person playing on a dedicated server where there's production, where there's, harvesting and cultivating, plowing, fertilizing, weeding, doing contracts, everything else. It sucks when I'm the only person on there on a very large map, mind you. Trying to take care of everything on there. And, by the time I log on, and dedicated server is a constant runtime. By the time I log on, it's just either wilted or it's expired. But with the with the dedicated servers that I currently have, we have a Valheim server, we have a Minecraft server, not a Minecraft, a Satisfactory server. I want to be able to get to the final stage of Satisfactory and complete it because I've only done it once. I want to be able to get that taken care of before launching the dedicated server for Farming Sim. So, you know, starting in January, you might actually see me on Satisfactory a lot more because I'm wanting to do stuff. I'm wanting to get this taken care of. Talk about this little streaming meta that seems to have some, vested conflict of interest. And this is why I pride myself on the way that I do my streaming. You will never see me take off a shirt on stream. Yeah, if I lift it up and I start scratching on my side, that's one thing. But taking off the shirt, taking off my shorts, or anything like that, you will never see. I don't understand why platforms allow people to do that. That's not a porn site, and they allow people to do that. Yes, there are sites for that. Well, stream there. Go be naked on stream there. Because when you put your stream 18 plus, the only thing that's stopping a kid under 18 from literally coming to your channel is the following is for mature audiences. I'm over 18. That's it. That's legitimately the only fucking thing that stops them. And guess what? When, if they want to take a look, they're going to click I accept and move on, and they may not even chat. Now you're exposing them to something that I don't agree with. And I'm speaking as a fucking parent of 4 kids. I don't agree with that shit. Credit for getting the bag, whatever. But I wouldn't be surprised if this actually has the relevance of degree within the terms of it going to higher echelon of the courts, like not the circuit, but like you know, that I don't know the terminology. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the courts and all the platforms are forced to make a change. I wouldn't be surprised. Because yes, I cuss on my stream. I cuss in this fucking episode anyways. That I'm okay with. while it's not my type of content, graphic games like the horror genre or the other type of games that exist, cool. Play those on, whenever. If you ask what's the difference between, a stream that had, a game that's got nudity versus a topless creator, simple. The person who's doing the stream for the game that has, any amount of nudity, they can instantly switch the stream. They can instantly switch games, especially if they don't feel comfortable with their audiences looking at it. Meanwhile, you got other people who are essentially naked. I just don't care. They don't care on who comes through. They don't care about, little fucking 12, 13-year-old grabbing their mom and dad's credit cards, buying 100 subs, and just doing that. They don't give a fuck. And if people say, oh, they do, I would argue them to put on some, to look at it a different way. Look at it through the mindset of a fucking parent. And if you're a parent saying that, I would argue look at your fucking moral foundation and your moral basis. Because you saying that I'm wrong in this one and you're also a parent, our views are not the same. I have my opinion, I have my morals. I'm gonna stand firmly on them. Again, no disrespect to the creators who are making that bag, so to speak. I personally do not agree with their content. And I don't check out the content, but when it's on the fucking front page of the platforms, it's an issue. That's my take. Now, I will say this about the various platforms I stream to. After my birthday stream, which is next week, and by the way, there will not be a podcast next week on that weekend. After my fucking birthday stream, I'm emailing Kick, I'm emailing Trovo, I'm emailing Twitch, and I am emailing Rumble. And if I can't get a solid answer from anybody on verifying, and if anybody's ever been by the stream, I've been dealing with a freaking stalker for the past 3.5+ years. And if I can't get a solid answer on whether or not they're going to actually enforce hardware bans through their support system, I have no problem messaging them on Discord for Kick and Trovo. Rumble, I have no problem trying to track down your product manager's email address. I'm pretty sure I can also message him on LinkedIn. And also on Twitch, I have no problem whispering your staff. I don't. And let's say, there's no common ground, whatsoever, so to speak. I guess I'll just lawyer up then. I guess I'll just let the lawyers deal with it. As myself and my mods, we've taken every single step that's available to us. You, as the platforms, have the tools to ensure that people cannot, further circumvent ban evasion. It's disheartening when you have a creator, let alone a veteran who served this country. And I don't like dropping that all too much. But it's to drive a point home. And he faces this much fucking harassment on your platforms. It's a fucking issue. And I know some people like, oh, just ignore him, just ignore him. Like some over on Trovo did. I'm not gonna mention names. That would be slanderous. I already mentioned it on a stream. You can go back and watch the last 10 minutes. Where they basically just say ignore. All right. Well, what do you do whenever he starts going to other people and starts saying that I died? Do they just ignore him? Well, because they're just going to go to the next. They're just going to go to the next one. Ignoring somebody who has constantly been harassing the same person for over 3 years is not an effective solution. Never has, never will be. An effective solution would either A, the platform sends him via email where he had to fucking register his account on and say cease and desist, or we will go with a legal matter. B, they get with the creator that's been fucking harassed and say, here's the options available. Or C, they reevaluate their TOS, they reevaluate their community guidelines, and they actually own up to their fucking shortcomings. And then proceed with A or B. Realistically, you only have two options. Because if the third has to come through, there's a fourth one, and it's not one they ever want to face. Me getting a lawyer and all four sections of their legal involved. All four legal sections involved. And I do not care. I consider myself the most prolific, a professional streamer, and the most resilient individual within content creation. As other people would have already folded by now. They would have already bounced and deleted their accounts. I'm still here. Other people would have just caved under the pressure. When you have something that's pressurized, it becomes emboldened and it becomes enhardened. Realistically, the dude's just, making my job easier for everything. But I digress. 2024 is going to be an interesting ride in both, or in, no, not just in both, but in the life sphere, in political sphere, in the entertainment sphere, in the streaming sphere, in the gaming sphere. I have a goal of my own that I want to hit for rebranding. When I rebrand, it will be done live on stream. You will see this name, Marine Veteran, disappear. I will still forever be known as Marine because I earned that title in 2006 of September on the 8th. September 8th, 2006 is when I graduated MCRD San Diego from boot camp. And I earned the coveted Eagle Globe and Anchor and title United States Marine. But when I rebrand, you will see something else instead of Marine Veteran. There will be alerts and overlays across the board that match up with the platform. I'm tired of different, sound bites. I'm tired of different overlays. I'm tired of different graphics for, each platform. I know what the Twitch multi-stream guidelines say, and I'm like, you know what the fucking hell with it. If you're going to try to enforce something, start with the biggest issues first. not just, catering to something else. There are other platforms that I need to coordinate with to see if they want to try alert systems with Streamlabs or Stream Elements, or hell, even Caster, or it can like people creating their own bot, so to speak. I'm glad to say Rumbot actually works now. I'm sorry to vaping for shitting on your application and everything, but before it was absolute utter garbage. Now, pristine. But the different things that I have planned, the items, the intros, the alerts, everything that I have planned, it's just it's going to make things so much worthwhile. Oh, and to let you know, when I do the rebrand and everything else, I'm not gonna have what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different scenes. I'll have, at least 4 or 5 with more or less sources, especially on my live scene. Because I have a lot of browser sources. And I need to actually take a look at certain browser source, like different browser sources that are gonna be beneficial. But that's for, in the future once I actually hit the goal that I need to, because before I rebrand, I want to copyright the name that I'm gonna go to. Aside from that, that's it. So I'll catch, or I will, have the next podcast, first one of 2024, in January. Till then, y'all be awesome. Have a very safe and wonderful Christmas and a very prosperous new year. Thank you very much for the wild ride in 2023. Thank you for anybody who's ever checked out this podcast. And really, and undefeated. Not just 2 words. It's a lifestyle and it's a motto. Y'all be cool. Peace.